Okay, so this video is going to be for my Tech Ed class on ACC part number 4. We're going to quickly go through this and create the drawing here and get this one ready to be submitted and turned in. So what we have here basically is a metric part. So we're going to start with our SOLIDWORKS. So I'm going to go ahead and get my SOLIDWORKS up and booted. It'll take just a moment here. But as it's booting up, let me talk about the plan of action. Okay, I'm going to start this from a front plane and basically create this L shape right here. Okay, that will put me on this face over here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and extrude it across, turning it into one basically L piece, L bracket. Okay, with the L bracket, then I'm going to come in and I'm going to hit this back face here and do this U cut. Then I'll come back to this face here and cut out the slot and these two little cuts here. All right, we'll add our material and we'll throw this into the drawing. So with that said, let me drag my SOLIDWORKS over to here and get started on our metric part. So I'm going to do a File New, and in this case right now I'm going to go also and slide over my part so I can see my dimensions. And I'm going to go ahead and start with a File New. Okay, it takes a second to boot up. Maybe. It's on the wrong page. It comes over here, and I'm going to go ahead and click on Metric. Say OK. Design tree is going to open. I'm going to start off on the front plane with my sketch tools. So Sketch and Start a Sketch. And I'm going to start off with a line tool. And I'm going to go ahead here, and I'm just going to basically take my line tool and create a large L shape. I'm going to hit Escape to deactivate my tool. Hit your F key to center up, and go ahead and start our Smart Dimension tool. I'm going to hit 22 on this side, and 22 on this side. And then I'm going to go ahead and get the overall height of this at 92 millimeters. Ooh, that's really close. Okay, and then the length of this is going to be 102. So I'll put 102. I'll hit my F key, and then I'm going to go to Features, Extrude Boss Base, and extrude this out a distance of 78 millimeters. And hit my check mark. Hit my F key to center up, go to my material right here and right click, and I'm going to go ahead and add my material, which is an aluminum alloy. So I'll go to my aluminum alloys. I'm looking for a 1350 alloy. So I'll go down here and order 1350 alloy, apply, and close. I'm going to do a Control S to save. Let's go ahead and save this as all caps, ACC4 _ your last name, and hit save. I'm now going to go ahead and hit this back face right here and start a new sketch. Spacebar, normal to, and what we're going to create is that U shape. So what I'm going to do is take my line tool, and starting at the top edge, I'm going to pull straight down, about 2/3 of the way down, pull back, touch this edge right here, left click, pull straight up, and close. Hit Escape to deactivate your tool and turn on your Smart Dimension. I'm going to add the following dimensions. I'm going to go across here at 50 millimeters, pretty close. And from here to this edge at 14. And from this center here to this top line, I'm going to add in 30 and get this to be fully defined. Our final step will then be the Features, Extruded Boss Base, and through all. So now I'm going to go ahead and hit my spacebar, isometric. And now what I want to do is I'm going to click on this top face and start a new sketch. Spacebar, normal to. Okay, I'm going to start with my slot tool here. And I'm going to start with a left click on this top part here, probably about 1/3 from the left and 1/3 from the right. Kind of pull up a little bit and left click. Now I'm going to go ahead and Smart Dimension this before I add my other cuts. And I'm going to start by dimensioning this at a radius of 6. And from here to the side, diameter of 10. Dimension of 10, sorry. And then from center to center, I'm going to make this 60. And then from the center line to this edge, I will make this 14. I'm going to go ahead and get out my dimensioning tool for a second. I'm going to go ahead and turn on my 3-point arc tool. Now from here what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start drawing some arcs. I'm going to draw basically from the side. I'm going to draw kind of a heart shape. I'm going to kind of put one about here. And it's a 3-click process. So I'm going to make a really shallow arc like this. And then with the tool still active, I'm going to click this end, click number 1, this edge as click number 2, and again make a very shallow arc with a click number 3. I am then going to go ahead with my line tool and close this off. I'm going to hit escape to deactivate the tool. We'll now go ahead and turn on our Smart Dimension tool. And from here, let's add in our key dimensions. So first I'm going to add in a dimension of 24 millimeters here. Okay. I'm going to escape for a second because these two, in the dimension there says TYP, I'm going to hold my control key and make these two arcs equal. Hit my check mark. I'm now going to take my Smart Dimension on again, and now from this point here to this edge, I'm going to make this distance 24. And then from this point to this point, I'm going to pull straight out and make this 20. From this point to the back edge here, I'm going to make this 50. And then this edge here, or this point to this edge, will make into 36. And once you've done that, what you'll see is that everything should be fully defined right now. So at this point, I can cut both of these off. So I'm going to go to my features, extruded cut, and I'm going to do a through all. Hit my check mark, and now with a space bar isometric, there is my final part. I'm going to do a Control S to save, and I'm going to go into my my evaluate in mask properties. Where's my mask properties? Right here. And oh, sorry, it's on the other screen. I apologize. And I get a 517.18 grams. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to either in class print this, or you can save and upload this to your Schoology account. Okay. Now we're going to get ready to do a new drawing. So we're going to start with a file new and do a GHSB metric and say OK. With the border now open, I'm going to go ahead and double click the ACC number 4. Here are my open documents. If you don't see that there, then you need to browse for it by clicking the browse and locating it where you saved your part file. I'm going to double click, and just like we've done before, I'm going to start with a front view, turn on my preview, hidden lines on. In this case, we're going to go with a custom scale, and we're going to change it from 1 to 2 and change it to 1 to 1. I'm now going to come over here. I see my preview. I see my hidden lines on. I'm going to drop the first view in this lower left-hand corner, top view, right side view, and my isometric view, and hit escape. I'm going to click on my isometric view and add color. I'm going to also change the scale to 1 to 2. I'm going to adjust and move, and as I blow up into this, highlight and hit delete on all of these extra lines. Hit your F key. Now I'm going to go ahead and go to my annotation toolbar, go up to my center mark tool, and we need to add some center marks here. We actually have a couple. The first one I want to add is to this little arc right here to make sure I have a center mark to indicate where the center of this arc is. So I'll click right here. I also need it up here on this one. Oops, I hit my check mark. I had to turn these on separately. Go to this one. I'm going to hit this edge right here, okay, for my slot. However, the slot is in the center, or the center mark is in the center of the slot. So over here to the left, I'm going to go to slot ends and hit my check mark. I'm going to do one more center mark, turn it on, and I'm going to click both of these arcs. However, I need to make these smaller. Okay, so I just want these plus signs. So over to the left, I'm going to go Use Document Defaults, uncheck it, and uncheck the extended lines. And now they'll just be plus signs. Hit your check mark, and now you're ready to dimension. Turning on my Smart Dimension, I'm now going to go around, and I'm just going to go view to view and add in the key dimensions for each view. So on the front view, I'll click on this top line and make that 22. I'll click on this side line, oops, not that line there. As a matter of fact, that line needs to be deleted and turn my Smart Dimension back on. I'm going to dimension to that right there. Moving over to the right side view, I'm going to go from this line to that line will be 30. From here to this bottom line will be 92. This line will be 14. This line will be 50. And then from left to right, oops, delete that. From left to right will be 78. Let's go to our top view. Turning on my Smart Dimension tool one more time, I am now going to come up here and begin to add in the final dimensions here. So from this edge here to this point, we'll make that 50. From this very front or very back to the very front will be 102. I'm going to click on this arc and put this right in between. And then over here in the white box, put my cursor in there and type in TYP. I'm going to make sure that arrowhead is flipped over. So I'm going to kind of blow up on this and flip that arrowhead to just like that. And then I'm going to go from this tip right here to this side and make that 24. From this tip right here to this tip here, I'm going to make this 20. From the top up here to that tip right there will be 36. I'm going to kind of pull these ones out because I need to do a couple other dimensions. And then I'm going to finish off with this dimension from here to here at 14. This dimension from here to here will be 10. And then from this edge to this edge will be 60. And at this point, F key, all my dimensions are in place. So I'm going to do a quick Control Save, yes to updates, and then say Save. We're now ready to add the title below here and do our title block. So now I'm going to bring this drawing back over temporarily and take a look at this title. And just like we've done before, I'm just going to do a left click and drag across this title. I'm going to do a Control C for copy, move this back over, and then I'm going to go under my annotation toolbar and hit the Note tool and click underneath the part right here and do a Control V for paste. Now we want to make sure this is centered, so I'm going to left click and drag. And with this tool right here, I'm going to go to center. And then I'm going to left click and drag across this top line and make sure that's underlined. I'm going to hit my Note tool, check mark, adjust this as I need to. I will finally go ahead and over here, I'm going to replace this title, where it says place the title, double click. With my caps lock on, we're going to type in SWX, part drawing, space dash space, ACC, I'm just going to do ACC 4, that's good enough. Scale will be 1:1, where it says GVH student, you are going to put your first initial and your last name. Then from there, we're going to change our date, 01/25/21. Period will stay as 3A, and then you're going to change the name to R. Combs. As soon as you have that done, I'm going to hit my F key, do my Control S, and when you get into class, or if you'd like to upload this to Schoology or in class, print this and turn this in for grade. With that said, that's all I've got. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask. Use this video to your advantage. Use the pause, rewind as you need to. Otherwise, good luck.